What's happening, y'all? Listen, I wanted to drop this video real quick and discuss energy transference. But first, I want to say thank you guys so much for all of the love and support. You guys have been leaving comments in the comment section. You guys have actually been hitting the like button a lot more, to the point where I can see the channel growth and stuff like that. So shout out to y'all, man. You guys have been joining the Facebook group, man. All of you guys that have joined the Facebook group, shout out to y'all, man. I absolutely appreciate it, because basically I'm trying to create a community and a safe place for all of us to like chop it up and share our experiences. And I find value in us learning from each other and learning some of the things that like what helped you heal, and how did you get through your healing process and things like that. And I think that that's one of the most valuable things of my channel, is that you guys, like I said, get to see my healing journey real time. I started my channel like shortly after the discard. I didn't know what was going on at the time. When I first started my channel, I started, I had already gotten the education about narcissism, but I start like my discard happened, and by the time that I started really getting educated about it, and from the time that I got educated about it and started the channel, it was like very short. It was like things happened so fast. And the reason that I wanted to start the channel was because I just didn't see a lot of channels like mine. I didn't see a lot of people that were actually discussing their own personal experience. It was a lot of people that were talking about narcissism, and they were explaining, oh, the narcissist does this and the narcissist does that, that kind of thing. But on my channel, I was giving you guys like real-time updates of stuff that was happening in my life, and I still do that to this day. And the good thing, like I said, about my channel is I feel like, because I get to see things from a different standpoint, because I'm actually in a co-parenting situation. So it's certain things that you guys that were just discarded, and you don't have any other ties with the narcissist, you don't have any other like ways of seeing behind the scenes and what's going on behind the veil. You guys can actually see and hear like what's going on behind the scenes and what's going on behind the veils from somebody who actually still has to engage with this person, because we do, we share, we're in a co-parenting situation. So because of that, it's like, I feel like this channel, like I said, you guys, there's certain things that I can see from the standpoint that I'm sitting at, like from the seat that I'm sitting in, that a lot of people will not be able to, get or understand, because either they didn't go as far into it, or, some of you guys did, like, and have children with the narcissist and all that kind of stuff, but maybe they are isolating you and keeping you so far away from your situation where you can't really see what's going on. It just so happened I'm able to see a little bit more into my situation than a lot of you guys are. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to discuss energy transference, because I noticed that one of the main topics, or one of the main things that people believe in their situation, is that like the narcissist discards you, and then they're riding on this high of like the discard and all of that kind of stuff, and they have gone off and moved on, and they're doing so much better with the new supply, and they've, all of that kind of stuff. And it's like, because I can see it from like the inside out, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm still very much in the situation, because like I said, I still have, I still have to see her. I still have to interact with her and things like that. So like I said, the reason that I wanted to really do this video was to kind of just give you guys a little bit of insight as to energy, how energy, like how they, first of all, suck your energy, but then how when you start to take your power back, and how you start to regain your balance in life and your balance in your own situation, when you start to break your trauma bond with this person, like the energy starts to shift back into your favor, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of you guys, like I said, that believe that the narcissist has just like run off and they're doing their thing, and they, you know what I'm saying? And they're living their best life, but they don't understand that this is really just a shift in energy. So it's all a shift in energy, and I'm gonna get to, all of that. But first I wanna say, one of the first things that, like when the discard was happening, one of the the person that I was dealing with, she had a vulnerable moment, and in that vulnerability, one of the things, like she had one or two moments where she actually spoke, I feel like, from her true self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you guys know about narcissism, and they do everything from the false self, and they create the false self, and they fantasize about things from the aspect of the false self and things like that. But in my own personal experience, there was a couple of times where it was like the true self shined through, or I don't know, you know what I'm saying? There was a moment of vulnerability where, just for a split second, she acknowledged who she was. She acknowledged things about herself, and she acknowledged like the true self, I guess. And it, like I said, it was very short lived, and it was very, like, if you blinked, you would have missed it. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of you guys may have had experiences like that with the narcissist, where they actually were vulnerable and they actually told the truth in a moment, or they actually said something that was like, it came to you later and you realized, like, damn, you know what I'm saying, they were telling the truth when they said that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had a few situations like that. Like I said, I told you guys in one video, she yelled out, she was like, yo, I be feeling like a stalker, yo. Like, I really be feeling like a stalker. And when she said that, I like laughed it off. I didn't think anything about it because I didn't think she was serious about like actually being a stalker, until the discard came and she actually started stalking. You know what I'm saying? When that happened, that's when I realized, like, oh shit, she was serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? She meant that. You know what I'm saying? So it was another situation that kind of was like that, where she had like a split second of vulnerability, and in that split second, she yells out, and this is, I want to tell you guys where I was in my headspace at the time when she yelled this out. But basically, this was like during, I guess, like I was in the devalue, going into the discard, and I was trying to figure things out. I was like in a stage of, like, I didn't understand narcissism at the time. I didn't have the education at all. I wasn't educated about cluster B personality disorder, any of that kind of stuff. I was literally still like in the mix, but her behavior was so odd, and it was like so unfitting to what was going on in our own personal situation, because she was picking fights where there wasn't a reason to. She was, finding flaws and fault in me when it was like, you know what I'm saying, or even some of the things like not even necessarily saying finding faults in me, but she was like, it's hard to explain, but like it's kind of like she was finding faults in what she thought that I was thinking about the situation, or what I was thinking about her in, the fact that she was pregnant with my son and all of that kind of stuff. I guess she, in her mind, made it up in her mind that I didn't want to be with her, didn't want the baby, I don't know what it was that, like, you know what I'm saying? Because we were all fine, like, all the way up until the day she got pregnant. We had a beautiful relationship, or at least that's what I thought. I didn't understand that, behind the scenes she was already cheating and seeing other people and dealing with this and you know what I'm saying? I didn't understand the situation or the circumstances at that point. But one of the things that she yelled out, like I said, she one day I was trying to figure things out, and I'm like, why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a cool situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, I give you everything you want, you know what I'm saying? Like, we seem to be, we've always been friends, like off and on, like we've had off and on situations, but all of the off times have been because you felt like you wanted to disappear, you wanted to leave, or, again, not understanding narcissism, not understanding the fact that, okay, she was running off to a new supply and she was dealing with that new supply for a year and a half. I was honestly thinking that this person was, she felt like, I felt like her feelings about me were actually genuine, but I also felt like she had a lot of other stuff going on in her life to where she couldn't fully commit to me. So I never, looked at her any type of way when she would duck off and disappear and do this and do that. And that was one of the things that like I said, I always kick myself in the ass now, because whenever she would leave out and then she would pop back into my life, I would never ask a lot of questions, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was me being cool and me being a guy like that's, oh, I'm cool and easygoing and easy to get along with and all of that kind of stuff. But I wasn't really checking her on, not necessarily just saying checking her, but, I wasn't checking behind her when she would duck off and be gone for a year and a half, and she would just pop back into the situation. I would just accept her back just off the strength and the love that I felt like we had something special. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even, and I guess because we didn't have any labels on us at the time, that I was like, okay, well, as long as she is, she hasn't brought me anything sexually or anything like that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking from the standpoint of just like, okay, well, it's no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she left. Yeah, she rolled out for a year and a half. But, maybe she had some real things going on in life. So I was like trying to be really understanding to the situation. So while I'm like trying to figure out why she is doing, like why she's moving, how she's moving during the discard, and she's like being mean for no reason and, saying any type of thing out of her mouth, towards me, or, she's like trying to downplay, anything that we got going on. So like one of the things that she tried to downplay was the sex after she got pregnant. You see what I'm saying? Like, so the sex, the sex was great. All that she always liked. That one of the main reasons why she claimed that she always came back to me was because the sex was great, the sex was great, the sex was great, all of that kind of thing. But then when it came down to it, like on the flip side, when she was trying to devalue me, she started trying to attack the same thing that she always told me was great. So if she always told me the sex is great, the sex is great, the sex is great, but then like once she got pregnant with my son, and once she, and even after she had my son, one of the things that she would always try to do is like, well, ever since I got pregnant, it just hasn't been the same. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. She would always like try to, I guess, bring my energy down or and that's what I'm saying. That's one of the reasons why I'm talking about this video is, like I said, the main point of this video is talking about energy transference and how they suck your energy and how they, do things to bring you down purposely, so that, while they're draining your energy and taking you down purposefully, you know what I'm saying? It's building them up. They're feeling better about themselves or whatever the case may be. So, like I said, I mean, I'm kind of laboring the point here, but basically was, what she ended up saying was, one day we were having a conversation and I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you, like, we've been cool all this time. We never had an argument. We never been in any type of beef. We never, you know what I'm saying? It's always been love and respect between us, or at least I thought. I just didn't know what she was doing behind the scenes. But from my standpoint, I was always good to her, and we never really had no argument. She could come and go as she pleased. I really wasn't raising no hell. I was real laid back. You know what I'm saying? I was real laid back in the situation. And she could pretty much do what she wanted to do, and that's what she was doing, But basically, when she got pregnant, then it was kind of like, okay, now we're in a situation where you have to step up and be an adult, and I guess I was asking too much of her to be an adult, after she got pregnant and that type of thing. So she was like, playing her game, she doing her knock stuff, and she was like, ghosting me and not answering the phone, and she was doing her thing. And during the time that she was doing that, I was like asking her, what's going on? Like, why are you acting like this? What are you doing? Like, why would you go out of your way to get pregnant, and then once you get pregnant, then you try to ghost the father? Like, I don't understand what's your purpose of all of this? It's not like we're even arguing and beefing now. It's like, so what is, what's going on? And in that one little small sliver of a moment of vulnerability, she just jumped out there and she was like, "You don't understand. You don't understand. I don't have energy in the morning." And I didn't, and when she said that, I'm like, I was really looking at her like, what? You know, because I didn't understand how important energy was. I didn't understand like why they leech onto us in the first place. I didn't understand narcissism at the time, but she literally like screamed out, and she was, you know, we were in the middle of like having it wasn't an argument, it was just like a heated discussion, and I was just asking her like, you know, why are you doing this? And like I said, in that little sliver of a moment of vulnerability, she was honest, you know what I'm saying? And in that honesty, I didn't understand what she was being honest about. I didn't understand what she was saying, but she basically was saying, you know, I don't feel anything. I'm a blank canvas. When I wake up in the morning, there's nothing, you know, and I didn't get that at the time. So when she was like, "You don't understand. You don't understand. When I wake up in the morning," like she basically was telling me without really telling me, like that she was, you know, she just didn't feel anything. She didn't have any emotion. She didn't have anything inside of her. She basically was robbed of her soul or something like that. Like that's basically what she was telling me, but I didn't get it at the time. I just kind of like when she said it, I was dumbfounded because I didn't understand energy yet. I didn't understand energy transference yet. I didn't understand, you know, that there were people like this that have been so broken and so hurt in their life or whatever the case may be, that they literally have nothing else to give. That they have, you know, I didn't understand what a reprobate mind was, any of that kind of stuff. I didn't understand what double-mindedness was, with, you know, any of that. Like I understood what the terminology of like double-mindedness, like, okay, you're all over the place. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel this one way about one thing, but then you feel this one way about something else that's contradictory. And, you know what I'm saying? So I understood the concept of certain things, but I had never like actually experienced it with another individual. So you know, when she yelled that out, she, you know what I'm saying, it kind of threw me for a loop, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, what? Because, you know, thinking from the standpoint of the context of what we were talking about, it really didn't have anything to do with what we was talking about, because I'm asking her about like the current stuff that's going on in our situation in our life. And her response was just like, "You don't understand. You just don't understand. Like, I don't have any energy in the morning." And when she said that, I'm like, energy in the morning? Like, what the hell that got to do with, you know, you keeping me from our child's gender reveal? Or what do that got to do with, you know what I'm saying? I didn't piece it, like I was dumbfounded at the time. So later on, I started going, you know, I started getting an education about, you know, cluster B personality disorder, you know, narcissism, borderlines, and, you know, how they kind of react to certain stressors in life and things like that. And when I started getting like the education, that kept ringing in my head of her just saying, "You don't understand. You just don't understand." Like, you know what I'm saying? And it just like, it always kind of rung in my head to say, you know, she was trying to tell me at that time that she operated differently. You know what I'm saying? She just, maybe she didn't know how to tell me. Maybe she didn't know full-fledged, you know, like how to just break that to me of like, but I'm definitely aware now that she knew of, you know, she knew of her, first of all, she knew of her diagnosis, but she also knew that, you know, she reacted to things a lot differently, you know what I'm saying? And she knew that, and she was kind of like letting it out. And it was just in that one little sliver. Like I said, they will have a moment of clarity, like, or they will have a moment of honesty where they'll let it out, and then after they let that out, they'll go right back to gaslighting, denying, acting like nothing ever happened, this, that, and the third. But I just say it's a couple of, it wasn't many. I could count maybe 3 situations where a moment of the true self seemed to shine through. you know. And one of them was when I was like, when she first told me that she was pregnant, she first told me she was pregnant, she was like, you know, she was basically telling me she thought she was pregnant and everything. And I was like, you know, I feel like you went out of your way to get pregnant, you know what I'm saying? Because she was basically lying about being on contraceptives. She was basically lying about, you know, being on birth controls, and lying about, you know, she wasn't actually trying to get pregnant. And basically it was a honey trap. She was making me fall for and fall for and fall for. And she started pulling the condom off and things like that. And then, boom, she ended up pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I definitely take my own accountability in the situation. You know what I'm saying? But basically, she finessed the baby out of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it 100. Like, that's what it was. She played the situation so well that I thought that she was genuine and real about being a family woman, being a mother, being a wife, being all of those things. She presented that picture to me, and I bought it. You know what I'm saying? And after I bought it, you know, she got pregnant, and then as soon as she got pregnant, she discarded. You know what I'm saying? So she knew that she couldn't be none of those things to me. She knew that she liked cheating. She liked, you know, running around from different dude to different dude and this, that, and the third. And she knew that I wasn't gonna go for that, you know, from a real standpoint. So it was like, well, I'm gonna get as far as I can get with him, and okay, boom, I'm gonna get the baby out of him. You know what I'm saying? At least I get the baby out of him, then I'm always attached to him. Maybe eventually one day he'll get over the fact that I did all of this, and we can at least have a sexual situation again. And it's like, that seems like that's what she wanted. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Overall, it's like, you know, it feels like her goal is to, you know, get me in a vulnerable position where I'm attached to her, and then get me into a position where, okay, now I just have him as like, you know, whenever I need him for, you know, if something's going on and I need, you know, to look good in front of a crowd, then I have a baby father that I can say, hey, yeah, come on, come to this event with me. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, or I got a constant like flow of like, anytime I want to call him and I need some sex or something like that, then I can just, you know what I'm saying, shoot over there and do that. And basically it's like, that's what I was feeling from that situation. That's what I felt like, you know, she was trying to set up in her own personal situation. It's just unfortunate for her, things kind of like blew up in her face. But, you know, basically, you know, like I said, I was really doing this video to talk about energy transference, and I just wanted to put it out there and preface the video with the fact that, you know, she put it out there that basically, yeah, I mean, I don't have any energy. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I don't feel anything. You know, I'm like looking at it. I didn't really, like I said, I didn't really understand what that meant at the time, but now I actually get it. And now that even in that statement, it lets me know what she was doing the whole time. She was sucking on my energy the whole time. I was like, empaths, we're extremely high on energy. We come into a situation, we come highly motivated. We generate energy on our own, basically. And, you know, even when I'm feeling down, I can always I can figure out ways to pick myself up, especially when I take time to be by myself. It seems like, of course, you know, with empaths, that's why, you know, it's important for empaths to have their alone time and things like that, because, you know, that's when we regenerate. That's when we heal ourselves. That's when we, you know, take the time to foster what we have in us. It's like empaths are a big ball of energy. Like we have so much energy that people want to leech onto us and suck it from us. You know what I'm saying? And when you realize how valuable your energy is, when you realize how valuable, you know, your time is, and all of that kind of stuff, then you'll be a better accountant of where you place these things in your life, and who you give these gifts to. And your energy is one of the biggest gifts that you have. And what like I said it in another video, but we have the ability to heal people. You know what I'm saying? As empaths, people come around us. It's a lot of people that come around me that just want to, they come around me when they're feeling bad, when they're feeling down, and they just get automatically lifted up because I'm always talking positivity. I'm always speaking life into them. I'm always speaking like, we can do this. Let's go. I got your back. I'm, clapping them up. I'm always, and by the time that a person gets off the phone with me or when they're in my presence, they're like, you know what? I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And they really be hyped, and they really, they go back and they apply it in their life. And once they start applying it in their life, they come back and be like, dog, after that one conversation that we had, that, and it be like that, you know what I'm saying? So and I know a lot of you guys probably had that same type of energy, to where people, your family members and your loved ones, your friends, they might have good things going for them or whatever the case may be. But then when they get around you, they get more motivated. They get more, they get more enthusiastic about chasing their dreams. They actually go after what it is that they are, after the things that they're capable of. I got a friend that's a rapper, and he's really good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, shout out to Mo Luciano, man. I'm a definitely name drop him because he deserves it, man. He's an excellent rapper. He's a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. For those of you guys that like hip hop, man, go check him out. He got a YouTube and all of that kind of stuff. He's on Instagram, Facebook, man. Check him out. I drop him because I want to see him grow. You know what I'm saying? I want to see he actually has the ability. I've seen this man put in the work. You know what I'm saying? So I want to, like I said, I show him some love here, even on the channel. Hopefully you guys will go that are into hip hop and that kind of stuff, man. Go check him out. He do his thing, but he was at a position where he was ready to give up. He was ready to, he had been rapping for years and nothing had really come of it and things like that. And he has a family to support and a family to take care of and things like that. But, after coming and talking to me and having good conversations of like, nah, man, you too good to just let it go, bro. Like you really too good to just let your talent go to waste. You know what I'm saying? Even it's a lot of different ways for you to be successful in it, especially now. You got YouTube, you got all these different platforms where you can make your content and just post it, and you know what I'm saying, and hope that something sticks or whatever the case may be. But you have too much opportunity to just let it go to waste, basically. And after having those conversations, it's like it lit a fire up under his career again. And then he just, boom, started dropping mixtapes and doing this and doing that and doing this thing. So, empaths, we just have a lot of healing abilities in us. And I think, it's because, like, when they say chosen ones, we are actually, we are God-like, you know what I'm saying? We are not gods. I'm not saying that we are even on God's level or any of that kind of stuff. I am not, but I feel like God places certain things in all of us, you know what I'm saying? And he gives us certain abilities to be healers here on earth. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's on us to just leave everything up to God. He gives us certain things that we're supposed to do. I think that's why we all have certain assignments. I'm sure all of you guys that feel like you are a chosen one, or all of you guys that feel like you are super empath or any of that kind of stuff, you feel like there was a purpose over your life. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking from experience. You know what I'm saying? I know that since you were since you was a little tiny kid, you always thought that there was something bigger and there was a bigger purpose for your life. There was something there was a spiritual backdrop to your life where you felt like, there was an assignment on your life. It was something that you was led here to do, and you were in your life experiences was shaping you to do that. You know what I'm saying? I know that. I'm speaking that from experience because I've lived it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this video real quick was really about energy transference. And one of the things that I noticed is people think that the narcissist has just gone off into the sunset. People think that the narcissist has just, they've come in, they've sucked your energy, and now that they've sucked your energy, they've ran off to the new supply, and that's just that. And I want to tell you guys from the standpoint of, let me wipe my face, it's a little hot in here, I'm sweating. But I want to tell you guys from the standpoint of somebody who, I'm still connected to the situation. I'm still like, unfortunately, I wasn't in a position where I could just go completely no contact. So you guys that are in no contact, and you're thinking that the narcissist has just run off, or the person has just the toxic individual that you were dealing with, they have just run off, and now they're with the new supply and they're living their best life and this, that, and the third. One of the things that I wanted to say was, this is energy. This is all about like energy transference. So at the very beginning of the discard, the narcissist is running on high energy because basically they just got out on you. They just did their thing. They cheating on you. They got the new person. This new person is giving them all the attention, just like the same way. So, you got to think about, like, even when you're in a new relationship, and somebody's giving you a lot of attention, and they're in that love bombing phase. I mean, and like I said, I don't think just narcissistic people love bomb. I think we all kind of have a stage where we're in that honeymoon phase, and we all put our best foot forward. We all give the person a little extra attention and all of that kind of stuff. It's just love bombing from the narcissistic point of view is sick because it's on purpose. It's done. You know what I'm saying? It's like they know that they can't hold that up, and at least from the empathic standpoint, we at least try to hold that up. But I think that the main thing is we all kind of love bomb. We all kind of show interest and put our best foot forward and all of that kind of stuff. When we're new in relationships, but basically, in my one-on-one the other day, we were discussing how drained you feel after the discard. And I was, basically explaining my own personal situation, and I was saying I was there to the point where I didn't feel like getting up out of bed. I was messing up on my job so bad that I ended up on like a probation at my job, where they were like, listen, if you don't tighten up, you're gonna lose your job. Like, all of those things are part of narcissistic abuse. They want to, if it was up to her, she would have crushed me to the point where I would have lost my job, where I lost my son already. Well, not saying I lost my son, but I had already, I was missing time with my son by her playing games and keeping him away from me for months at a time. When he was when he was first born, she was keeping him away from me for a month here, a month there, couple weeks here, couple weeks there. This went on for like the first year and a half, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot of times where I didn't see my son for 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time, you know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So I was already, crushed behind that. And then the failure of the relationship that I thought that her and I had to eat that. And then on top of that, it's like my job is going haywire, and they're getting to the point where they are, threatening to basically terminate me because I'm not, my mind is so clouded, and I'm going through so many different things, dealing with the narcissist and dealing with the discard and dealing with, having a new child in the situation, and not being around him, not being able to be in his life. But I've done everything in my own personal situation to like, why don't I have my child? There's no reason that I don't have my child. I have a full-time job. I work, I work, I have a full-time gig, have my own home, have this, have that. And I'm like, why don't I have my child? So it's like that struggle of like, you're frustrated because, the failure of the relationship. You're frustrated because you have just went through something that was like completely just, it was a disheartening situation because you didn't expect this person to be the one to betray you in the way that they did, all of that kind of stuff. So you are feeling low. And when you are feeling low, the narcissist is feeling up here. When, if they can rob you from your energy, and they can rob you from your joy and your peace and all of that kind of stuff, they are feeling on a high that, like no other. But And this is the whole thing about energy transference, because I'm sure even before your discard, you were full of energy, you were full of life and stuff like that. So you were up here and you were like living and living and living, and y'all, let's just say y'all were neck and neck, because you are coming from the standpoint of wanting to be equal with your partner, but the whole time your partner is going against you, and they are actually trying to, figure out ways to climb over you and put their foot on your neck and that kind of thing. You don't realize that at the time, of course, but that's what's going on. So, the fact that, first of all, because you don't have that heads up, and because they already have a head start on you, and they're already in a position of like power, and they feel like that because they know certain things that you don't know. They know that they're going to leave you. They know that they have, other people that they're cheating with. They know all of these kind of things, and you're coming from the standpoint of, you're thinking that this is a great relationship, so you're not even seeing none of this about to come. So the fact that, they basically have their heads up on you, they feel like they're in power. So you're here, but they still feel like they're here because they know certain things that you don't, And so once they actually discard you, now it's like boom, boom, boom. They climb up here, and then you are knocked down here. And in that, depression is real. You know what I'm saying? When you go through hard things in your life, and you get depressed behind certain situations that's going on, it's like you'll be in a position where you'll be on that couch. You won't want to get up. You won't want to do anything. The only thing that I could really do was get up, roll out of bed. And luckily, the one beautiful thing about God is, as your circumstances change, he'll change your life. You know what I'm saying? He'll change things in your life. So my circumstances changed to the point where I really didn't feel like getting out of bed. I really had I was in a position in my life where I could not, I couldn't believe what just happened. And I was going through a depressive stage of like, damn, but COVID hit, and once COVID hit, I ended up being placed on like full-time telework. And so literally for like a year and a half, while my healing journey was going on, that's why I say God always protects you and puts you in a situation that you'll be able to handle your business. Because when everything hit, like the whole situation with the discard and everything happened with her, my dad died, my car went down, all of that kind of stuff. Everything was happening like back to back to back. And I watched a video earlier about cluster warfare and about cluster attacks. And like basically that's what I was feeling like. I was feeling like I was being attacked in every area of my life. I was being attacked emotionally. I was being attacked financially. I was being attacked spiritually. You know what I'm saying? All the way across the board. I felt like it was different attacks coming in my life, but and during that time, she was living up here, you know what I'm saying? She was really riding on her high of like discarding me, finding new supply, having a baby by me, everybody giving her all this attention because she had the baby and this, that, and the third. And, of course, a baby is going to bring attention because, oh, look at the baby, look how cute the baby is, oh my God, look at, what I'm saying? And so you got a lot of people that's like, oh, look at the baby, this, that, and she's just eating that up. She's eating up all the attention because that's what they're here for. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like she had the baby for, money purposes, as far as like having a better tax return, that kind of thing, all of that kind of stuff, being able to like try to put me on child support and all of that kind of stuff. And then also the purpose of like really having a baby was just to bring attention to herself, so that everybody was looking at her like, oh my God, she's a great mom. Look at the baby, he's so handsome. Look at this, look at that. Oh my God, like she was getting off on all of the attention, so she went out of her way to like, her first child was getting a little too old, and he wasn't garnering the same type of attention. Once a kid starts going into their teenage, adolescent years, and they lose that little, oh my God, he's so cute, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? I think that that started to kind of happen with her first child, and she utilized the opportunity to have a second child to get that old thing back, to get that old feeling back of like, oh my God, look at the baby, he's so handsome, he's so cute, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. So and I know a lot of you guys have watched other videos where they have discussed, like, you know, how narcissists use their kids to garner attention and gain energy and all of that kind of stuff. And one of the, you know, the first couple of years of the child's life, they're actually using the child for that attention, because everybody's saying how cute the baby is and how this and how that, and oh my God, I can't believe you had a baby, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. So basically that's like, you know, when they are riding high, they are really riding high in that certain, you know, when they are able to get off on you, and not only get off on you, trick you into whatever it is that they are trying to trick you into. They feel like they have conquered you, and they have a new supply, and then whatever it is that they were trying to seek out of your situation, they got it, and now they have that new supply, you know, and they are really riding high. And during this time when they're really riding high, and you're trauma bonded and you're stuck like on the couch, and you are sick because you can't believe that this person has done this and done that, they are off to the new supply, and they're love bombing. And that energy, you know, the energy from all of the lies and deceit and this, that, and the third. That's the thing about, you know, energy. You know, you can lie about, you know, what's going on in your situation. You can dress yourself up and make yourself look real good. You know, she could throw on a new outfit or go get her hair done and all of that kind of stuff, and make herself look real presentable and make herself look real good. So, and that's what she was doing while she had all of this energy. Listen, excuse me. While she had all of this energy, right? She was coming around like, you know, we were doing a child exchange, and she was coming over with new outfits and, you know, looking good, and had her hair done and contacts in her eyes, and, you know, pulling up in different cars, rental cars, and all of this kind of stuff. That's, you know, when she was riding high, and that energy was just pumping and pumping and pumping, and she was feeling herself. She was really, really feeling herself. And I, you know, and I'll admit, like, I was, you know, I would never, you know, you know, just allow somebody to just pull me all the way down and just let that be that. But at the same time, she did drop me from here to here, because I was literally, you know, I was making a lot of progress in my own life and in my own personal situation, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. And then you can imagine, you know, thinking that you have fallen in love with somebody, and thinking that you have found your person, and then getting this person pregnant, and then all of a sudden, as soon as you get this person pregnant, they just discard you out of nowhere. You don't see it coming. There's no reason behind it. You're not beefing about nothing. She just discard, like, boom. So it just rocked your world. It turned your whole world upside down. And so, of course, with my world being flipped upside down, there was a lot of things that suffered. There was a lot of things that I wasn't, you know, able to give my attention to, that needed my attention. My own personal businesses, my own personal goals that I had set, and stuff that I already had in motion was like hindered because of, you know, that whole situation, and me just allowing her into my life and allowing her into my space, and then allowing her to basically trick me into getting her pregnant and then discard me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's, you know, it was one of them situations where I really, you know, I was really zapped of my energy, and she was riding high. Like I said, she was coming around, and she was pulling up in new whips. She was pulling up in rental cars. She was pulling up in the new supplies car. She was having her hair done. She was having her nails done. She was looking good, you know, and it got to the point where, like I said, I started to actually shift that energy. When the first thing I started to do to shift the energy was I got rid of like all the pictures and stuff in her phone. You know, like all of the stuff that I had in my phone of her, any pictures, anything that would pop up and remind me of that situation, I deleted all that shit. Then I purged my house. I went through my whole house and just started getting rid of all the items that she had either came and left, or stuff that she had given me that, you know, it wasn't no longer serving me, whatever the case may be. And I got rid of all of that stuff. And then once I got rid of all of that stuff, and then it went to like basically cleaning up my social media. So once I got into like blocking her on everything, cleaning up my social media, blocking her family, blocking all of her friends, blocking, you know, all of her flying monkeys and stuff. Once I got to that point and I started doing all of that kind of stuff, that's when I started like experiencing my own peace again. And when I started being able to experience my own peace again, what I started to notice is that same energy that she had when she was shitting on me and she was like doing her thing and like had a, you know, she got new supply and this going on and she got that going on, I'm down here. It started to like even it out again. It started to like slowly but surely, you know, and it took a while, but it slowly but surely, like I started to like my own personal energy started to increase. And as I started to build and increase and increase and increase some more, you know, it's like I could see her, I could feel her energy, first of all, being ripped out of, like, you know, I could feel the trauma bond being like ripped apart, you know, and then on top of the trauma bond being ripped apart, I could feel my own personal energy climbing again. And I was able to like drop videos on YouTube and like, you know, that kind of thing. And I was starting to, you know, get back to my own personal self and get back to my own balance in life and things like that. And I'm still working on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still like, you know, we're still like teetering on the scale. That's why I say it's good. My channel is like very valuable because I'm still in the middle of my healing process. I'm still in the middle of all of the stuff that I'm saying. So it's like, I was going through a process where it did seem like she was up here and her life was great because it felt like I was like, now I'm working all the time. I'm working, you know, I'm working my regular job 5 days a week. And then now I got the baby on the weekends. So I never get any downtime. I can't put in any work to my own personal goals, my personal dreams. She basically had me pigeonholed to the point where I couldn't really do anything. But God kept telling me, start your YouTube channel. Start your YouTube channel. You know, and I was stuck. I was stuck in the house. I was stuck with a brand new baby. Like I said, my vehicle had went down at the time. You know, and I'm basically like confined to my house. Like COVID is going on, so everybody's pretty much in lockdown and stuck anyway. All of that kind of stuff, and I'm dealing with all of these things, and you know, it kind of just forced me like, okay, start your YouTube channel, start your YouTube channel. It's like a lot of people out here that really need to hear your voice and that really need to hear your experience and things like that. And I ducked it for a long time because I was camera shy and I didn't want to, you know, jump in front of the camera and talk to people about this and talk to people about that. And I was embarrassed. I didn't want to put my own personal situation out there. But I think that's one of the purposes of all this is that you have your ego death. And once you go through your ego death, all of those things that were stopping you and hindering you from like jumping in front of the camera or, you know, being more outspoken and things like that, those things will start to become easier to you because, you know, a lot of stuff that we place on ourselves as far as like societal stuff that we place on ourselves of saying like, you know, if I talk, that's not gonna be cool because I'm talking about narcissism or I'm talking about this or I'm talking about that and I got a reputation. I don't want dudes to be, you know, thinking I'm soft or no shit like that because, you know what I'm saying, like all of the little fly stuff that we be thinking, you know what I'm saying, but in reality, God, you know, would utilize your insecurities, your own personal insecurities will be the thing that actually God will take and use and help other people with, you know what I'm saying? So when I'm thinking like, I don't want to talk in front of the camera because it ain't no fly, it ain't that fly, you know what I'm saying? It ain't fly to talk about this type of, you know what I'm saying, this type of topic in front of the camera and all of that kind of stuff. But in reality, you know, that's part of my assignment. Part of my assignment was to be able to like really touch people and reach out to people that have, you know, been through the same experience. And not only that, like, you know, I've been through a lot of other life experiences that I feel like a lot of you guys can gain value and all of that kind of stuff in your own personal life and in your own personal healing and all of that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's a reason that I'm here. It's a reason that I'm talking to you guys. Like, and I feel like I was led here by assignment. You know what I'm saying? The same way that I feel like the narcissist was assigned in our life, like in our life, for a reason, to either wake us up to something or open us up to something. I feel like, you know, our assignment is for us to, like, you know, you know, expand ourselves as much as possible, and, you know, allow God to utilize us in any way that he wants to utilize us. I didn't know that God was going to utilize me in a way of, you know, jumping on YouTube and talking about this kind of stuff. I had no intentions on making a channel of, I didn't, like I said, I didn't know anything about narcissism or none of that kind of stuff at all. But I felt like this channel would be valuable because of the fact that there weren't many channels like this. So, like I said, I just wanted to drop this video. It's a long video. I know, y'all, it's like almost an hour long. I'm gonna try to go ahead and wrap this up within the next 10 minutes, so it's not a full hour. But like I said, I just wanted to discuss energy transference. And, like, you know, you're looking at the situation and you think that the narcissist has jumped off and they're doing their thing, and they ran off with the new supply, and they really are, like, living their best life, and they got all this great stuff going on. But I'm here to tell you from the standpoint of somebody who is actually still in the mix. Like, you know what I'm saying, those of y'all that are in co-parenting situations, or those of you guys who have to continuously see your narcissist, please jump in the comment box and let me know if y'all have experienced the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Just jump in the comment box and just let me know if, like, first the energy seemed like it was here because they was shitting on you. They was like, you know, they was on top of their game, but slowly but surely, you know, it started to dwindle. It started to switch. And the thing about it is, a lot of you guys that don't have children with them or don't have any other ties with them, y'all, it's gonna seem like, oh my God, they ran off, they did this, they did that, and then when they come back for the Hoover, you thinking that they've been living their best life, and then you allow them back because you think that this whole time that they've been living good and they've been doing this and they've been doing that, and nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I'm coming from a standpoint of somebody who has seen the energy switch, has, like, it went from dressing nice and having her hair done and having her nails done and talking shit to me, popping her, you know, she popping her shit and like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm that bitch. Like, she was like really running around and really acting like that, and really was like, you know, her energy was on that. And then it went from that to her kind of ducking me, not really wanting to be around, not wanting to see me, not, you know what I'm saying, avoiding me any chance that she could, you know, and then even as far as like her own appearance, you know, her appearance, she started wearing the same outfit all the time. You know, I would always, like, every time she would come over, she would have the same exact outfit on. You know, she wouldn't have her hair done. She would have a bonnet on. So it went from her, you know, having her joint banged out, you know what I'm saying, like having her joint, you know, laid out to the point where, you know, I'm like, dang, you know, she kind of looking good. Dang, that's kind of messed up. To now she, you know, walking around with bonnets on her head all day and not having her nails done, not having her, you know, all of that kind of stuff. You know, so at the very beginning of that discard, they're riding on that high of doing what they did to you. They have the new supply, but then that new supply starts to get old, and you start to, you know, heal. You start to get over them. You start to break the trauma bond, and once you start to, like, climb in life again, then you start to realize, okay. And then when you start to get to that point of neck and neck, then you know what I'm saying, and you start to, you continue to ascend, and they continue to decline, because now that energy is shifting, that balance is being weighted. You know what I'm saying? Like, the scales have been tipped now, you know what I'm saying, to the point where, like, they were up here and you was down here, and now that seesaw has, like, zoop, you know what I'm saying? So the higher and higher and higher you climb, the lower and lower and lower they're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, you know what I'm saying, you're basically digging your ditch when you tried to hurt me, you know what I'm saying? And you don't realize that yet, because you're riding on such a high, because you think that, you know, everything is beautiful, everything is good, and this, that, and the third. But when that energy flips, when that energy flips, you know what I'm saying, and they start to realize that, okay, this person is gaining momentum again. Okay, this person is like, this person is climbing again. Their finances is getting better. They're starting to look better. They in a new relationship, all of that kind of stuff. Like when you start to like really climb out of this, break the trauma bond, get away from them, and watch your potential rise, you will start to realize that, this is really all about energy. And all they did at the time that you were dealing with them was basically they zapped you of your energy, they sucked your energy dry, and they were riding on that energy while they were off to the new supply, love bombing that new supply. And that's why it looked so good at the very beginning. It looked great it looked real good from the very beginning, because you thinking, damn, they must really like this person. They must, they must really be getting it in. They must really be, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, all they did, they stole your energy. They ran over there. They took that energy over there. All of that good loving and all of the good stuff that you gave them, they took that, they ran over there. They thought they had, the grass was greener on the other side of the fence, until they started realizing that, first of all, the grass wasn't greener, and second of all, life has a way of balancing itself. Life has a way of, karma's a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like karma really is a bitch. So it's like life has a way of balancing the scales. You know what I'm saying? And spiritually, if you guys understand, like, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, if you really have faith in God and you really believe in God, you will know that, number one, God may have allowed, you to be in a situation with a narcissist, but he's always going to use, your bad for good. The things that seem terrible in your life are the same things that's going to shape you into the person that you need to become to fulfill your assignment, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, I know this video getting real long, man. It's almost an hour long. I will probably do a part 2, because there's so much more that I can say about this topic. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it short here, because, like I said, it's already almost an hour long. I love you guys. I hope you find value in this video. I hope you find value in all the other content, man. Book your one-on-ones with me. We can definitely chop it up. I get so much out of just, talking with you guys and chopping it up with you guys, and sharing our healing journey, healing experience. I love giving you a lot of the tips that helped me at the very beginning. If you're in a situation where you think you're dealing with a narcissist but aren't sure, and you just want to chop it up and find out, or if you think that you are, if you want to discuss anything in your healing journey, if you want, if there's anything that I can help you guys with, go ahead and book a one-on-one session with me. We can definitely chop it up. For all of you guys that's on Facebook, go ahead and join the Facebook group. We are under the same channel name, Eradicating Narcs. It's a private group. Y'all can join. It's a couple questions to join, but it's like three prerequisite questions to join. But it's easy and, light. And basically it's just asking if you're a channel member. So a lot of you guys that will be joining here from the channel, you guys are already qualified, basically. So go ahead, join us on the, join me on the channel Discord. I plan on, starting a channel Instagram, especially when like the merch comes out. That way we can just kind of see the supporters of the channel, see who's, so like once I start, getting t-shirts and stuff like that out, I would love for you guys to take pictures in your t-shirts, and then I can post them to Instagram, and we can kind of just share the family with everybody, let everybody know that, first of all, you're not alone. There's other people out here that have gone through your same situation, and there's other people that have come out on the other side of this and that are living healthy, happy, successful lives, even after experiencing what they went through with the narcissist. So like I said, man, I love you guys so much, man. I will tap in with y'all real soon. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to drop another video, whatever the case may be. I just wanted to drop this video real quick and talk about energy transference and all of that kind of stuff, man. I love you guys. I will talk to y'all soon, and I'll see y'all in a minute.